It's lights out, and we're racing here at Silverstone. It's a brilliant start from sprint with Alex Marquez in the middle of that front row. He's got the drop on the field. Oh, he's gone down! Alex Marquez, there is going to be no dream double. The fairy tale over at the very first corner. Alex Marquez then down as soon as
red flag for that. He's gone straight into the air fence. The bike has gone straight to the air fence. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Marc Marquez leads from Fabio Quartararo, but this race might yet get stopped.
As soon as he grabbed the front brake, Alex Marquez was down and out of this British Grand Prix. His bike has on a long way into the air fence. We'll keep a close eye on that one. Alex's big early mistake then has put Marc at the front of this British Grand Prix early on. Quartararo in second place. Bagnaia started in P3. He's in P3 right now. Aldeguer fourth. Luca Marini's had a great start. He's up from 7th to 5th.
Well, for the World Championship, that could be a hammer blow for Alex Marquez. Marc Marquez already with a 19-point advantage, could potentially stretch that out to 44 if he takes advantage of that. Unfortunately for Alex Marquez, too much too soon.
Yeah, this is just nowhere near enough temperature in the tyre and the brakes. He got a great start, the perfect start, and just look at that, he barely tipped in. He had barely tipped into that first corner. What did Michele Gresini boss tell Jack, 5 minutes ago? This is a race where you have to be patient. You have to be calm. And Alex Marquez, well, what a blow. What a blow. Just look at that. He had barely even carried any kind of lean angle, and he was on the floor. They can't believe it, can they, at BK8 Gresini Racing, as Marc really starts to stretch his legs here early on. Up ahead of Quartararo by over 3/4 of a second as we come to complete this dramatic lap one here at Silverstone. Alex Marquez from second on the grid, leading the field into turn one before he crashed out of contention. Early heartache for the Spanish rider. Further back, Quartararo second, Bagnaia third, Aldeguer fourth.
Oh, is that down? Someone's down coming through Maggots and Beckett's.
Oh, it's Marc Marquez! Marc Marquez! The two Marquez brothers have crashed out of the lead in the British Grand Prix. Can you believe what you are seeing here at Silverstone? The red flag is out. Red flag has been waved. Unbelievable. For the second week in a row here at in MotoGP, we're getting high drama, aren't we? As Marc Marquez tucks the front, going through Maggots and Beckett's. Just look how far he's gone through. On the right-hand side, there'll be some friction burns there. He headbutts one of the barriers as well. Red flag is out.
Oil down somewhere on the racetrack, which might well spare both of the Marquez brothers. We're only on lap 2.
This was Frankie Morbidelli's crash-damaged Ducati GP24. Liquid spilled out onto the circuit was the reason why the red flag was waved. Green flag is cleared at the back. It's the British Grand Prix, take 2. Lights out, we're racing here at Silverstone in MotoGP. Once again, Alex Marquez makes a great start from the middle of that front. It's Pecco Bagnaia on the inside of both Quartararo, Marc Marquez and Alex Marquez. The Italian leads. Alex Marquez gets through turn 1 safely.
Quartararo looking to come straight at the inside of Bagnaia. Marc Marquez poorly away that time, and he's going side by side with his younger brother for 3rd place.
Ooh, Miller had a bobble on the front there as he went through Village, but he was able to find his way through on Fermin Aldeguer. Trying to go the long way around now through the loop and entry. It is Zarco, your French Grand Prix winner. Quartararo that leads ahead of Bagnaia, and Marc in 3rd place. Alex back to 4th, understandably a little bit cautious on this opening lap.
A little bit of a head shake for Quartararo there as he was trying to get his power down into the Wellington Straight. Aldeguer going wide, one of the KTMs also sailing wide into Brooklands, but the Ducati battle is on for 2nd and 3rd as Zarco's trying to make early progress as he contacts with Alex Marquez.
Yeah, Miller already picked off Alex going into turn 6. Understandably, you can understand why Alex is just so hesitant, so cautious and conservative. Fresh in his mind is that real scary front end lock that he had going into turn 1. It was not Aldeguer. It was certainly one of the Gresini Ducatis, wasn't it? Aldeguer. It was Aldeguer on the 54 bike. There is Alex Marquez, who's had contact already with Zarco. It's been an eventful start to this second running of the British Grand Prix for Alex.
Marc's quite cautious too. Look, Miller's climbing all over the back of him now after initially attacking Bagnaia. Marc Marquez is now under pressure from the second of the Yamaha, so it's Yamaha 1 and 4, Ducati 2 and 3, and Alex Marquez now running in 5th place. But look at Miller shaping up behind Marquez.
He's got that soft front, hasn't he? So it's going to be getting up to working temperature a lot quicker. And Zarco goes barrel rolling in to the Stowe corner. He's gone around the outside of Alex Marquez. brilliant by Zarco, but it just shows, doesn't it? Alex is being conditioned by what happened to him on that first corner of the first start here at Silverstone. Miller, he's got temperature in that soft front tyre pretty quickly here, and now through these fast right-handers with the extra edge grip is where he'll have the advantage. Quartararo is trying to check out 1.2 seconds. Quartararo completes lap 1 ahead of Bagnaia.
And he will be hoping that Bagnaia holds Marc Marquez back for as long as possible. Marc Marquez running in third place. Look how hard Quartararo's pushing in these early stages.
He's got the soft front.
Here comes Miller.
He's got the soft front. He's got to make hay while the sun shines here. Miller also with the soft front on that Pramac Yamaha.
Looking on our timing screens, the riders on the soft front tyre: Quartararo, Miller, Zarco, Bezzecchi, Alex Rins, and a couple of others further back. But Quartararo, Miller and Zarco making full use of it.
Well, Miller's bombed through now on Bagnaia.
Marc Marquez so nearly into the back of his teammate there, into Copse corner, and that's going to let Zarco and his brother through.
Cost him a whole bunch of time, as it's cost him all of his exit speed as they charge now towards Magnus and Beckis. This is brilliant, isn't it? Once again by Zarco. He also on one of those soft front tyres as well, and he's making it pay big time early on here. The only rider in the 59s by a mile, 0.8 of a second quicker he was on that lap 2 compared to Miller. Behind him you got Marc Marquez, Alex Marquez. They're in the 201s.
Top 3 riders now are all on that soft front tyre. It's making hay for them at this stage. Quartararo, Miller and Zarco all in. Marquez trying to squeeze through on his teammate Pecco Bagnaia, but they are battling for 4th and 5th.
Trying to squeeze through, he did get through. That was ultra aggressive by 93 on 63. Right now, Quartararo in a race of his own.
Well, if Quartararo is going to hit problems later on with that soft front tyre as Bagnaia, that's another example of his problems on corner entry as he goes wide. Both of the factory Ducatis sailing wide. Marc Marquez is now behind the Ducati. I think they're outside the top 10 now. Marc Marquez is now 9th, Bagnaia is now 10th. They are way out of contention now on lap 4.
Unreal drama this. Marquez almost cleans into the back of Johann Zarco, and then also sucked in, wasn't it, into Copse. The 2 factory Ducatis.
They are having a nightmare.
Well wide, they just can't get the bike stopped and turned in with that medium front, can they, at all?
Quartararo is currently 4.6 seconds ahead of Alex Marquez, who's now been overtaken by Bezzecchi. It's now Yamaha, Honda, Aprilia inside your top 4. Marc Marquez is 5.7 seconds off the lead. Pecco Bagnaia is 6.5 seconds off the lead. It's going to take something truly heroic for them to win from there.
Crikey, when was the last time 3 Japanese bikes finished on a MotoGP podium? Bagnaia is having an absolute nightmare. He's having a Silverstone shocker here, right, isn't he now? Birthday boy Pedro Acosta, 21 today. Finds a way through on the fast fading Italian. Oh, he's gone down. Well, that was coming. That was coming. Just absolutely zero feeling in the front end of that factory Ducati. He's been off the track already once in this Grand Prix, and going through Lovefield mid-corner, the vague feeling on the front cost Pecco Bagnaia as he goes down. Marco Bezzecchi now is on the charge. I think Bez has just picked off 3rd place from Johann Zarco. So Bagnaia's desperate weekend sees him on the floor in Lovefield.
Pecco Bagnaia has now since crashed out of the race, and Marc Marquez is still finding progress tough as Bezzecchi takes 2nd place.
Bezzecchi through on Miller. That has been coming. The factory Aprilia star has got great speed, and around the outside once again. The corner speed that Johann Zarco can carry on that LCR Honda is just unbelievable. We saw him pass Bagnaia around the outside through Copse yesterday in the sprint, and now he's dished out some punishment to Miller around the outside of the Aussie through Stowe. Zarco well on course here for successive podiums in completely different conditions. The Honda works in the rain, the Honda works in the dry, doesn't it? Brilliant this once again by Zarco. Miller is going to be picked off here by Morbidelli. That's a real fast sweep through there, 180 degrees. Oh, Morbidelli went in hot, he went in hot. Just rubs across the nose, though, of Miller. Of course, this is 2nd chance saloon as well, isn't it? 2nd opportunity for Morbidelli. Oh, that's really, really close, isn't it? Mir is just about resisting this onslaught coming from 93. How much longer can he hold back Mark? Not much longer by the looks of it. Well, he's going to defend him going through into Brooklands. No, he's not. He just was slightly offline there, wasn't he, Mia? Just slightly offline. Marquez just saw the gap, and you just knew you could put your last euro on that, and he was going to take advantage. Pedro Acosta's having a pretty miserable weekend, not even inside the top 10 at the moment on the factory KTM, so he has not been able to make any big gains with that correct, as it seems, soft front tyre choice.
Here comes Mark up the inside of Alex then. Your top two in the World Championship change places. Marc Marquez now up into 6th place. A podium is not out of the question yet for Marc Marquez. We are only just coming up towards half race distance. Quartararo responded to Marco Bezzecchi on the last lap. They both did 2-minute flats on the last lap. The lead remains just over 5 seconds.
Well, you get the sense already that this is Quartararo's race to lose. He's built up such an advantage as Miller now gets picked off. Morbidelli got him there, didn't he, a couple of laps ago, going into Maggots and Beckett's. This time around, he can do nothing about Marc Marquez, although he does try to tough it out with the factory Ducati. So that has now seen Miller push back to 6th place. He's got it all on now, as out of the seat once again. There's been a couple of times on the gas out of Chapel we've seen Alex Marquez just lose the rear briefly, and that means he's not able to attack Miller on the brakes going into Stowe. As Marquez fires through on Morbidelli. So that's the battle for 4th and 5th. What's going on here? Quartararo's got his arm up. Quartararo's got his arm up. Oh my goodness, can you believe it? Fabio Quartararo touring on the factory Yamaha. He's lost the lead. Wow, just wow. Oh, your heart goes out to poor Fabio Quartararo, denied a certain British Grand Prix victory in the cruelest of circumstances. Oh, dearie me. They can't believe it, can they? In the factory Yamaha team, what do we always say? This is MotoGP, never say never. But poor old Fabio Quartararo, he was 4.5 seconds up the road ahead of factory Aprilia star Marco Bezzecchi, who has a gift here. Aprilia on course for their 2nd British Grand Prix victory in 3 years. But Fabio Quartararo, the bitterest of pills he's about to have to swallow here. Oh, dearie me, Lewis. I mean, we're crestfallen in the commentary box for the guy. That is just utter heartache.
He'd done everything right to that stage of the Grand Prix. I think Pecco Bagnaia was in tears earlier on. I think Fabio Quartararo might be in tears too now. The bike, unfortunately, letting go on Quartararo. He will have felt something immediately there as he came through Brooklands corner. As once again, he was almost performing a stoppie there coming through Luffield. Let's have a listen as Quartararo's victory hopes go through his fingers.
Oh, dearie me. The highs and lows of a Grand Prix motorcycle racer captured in this image. He's going to get a wonderful reception when he comes back to pit lane, is Fabio Quartararo, but he means nothing. Is the ride height device stuck on? Was he grabbing the brake there to try and disengage it? I think, do you know what I think? I think his rear ride height device is stuck on. That's why, going into Luffield, he grabbed a handful of front brake to try and get it disengaged. Just look how low that Yamaha is sitting. As we say, what can you say right now that's going to console poor old Fabio Quartararo? But it does look like the way that he squeezed that front brake, that it's the rear ride height device that he would have had engaged for the acceleration down the Wellington Straight. It hasn't popped back up. That is just unbelievable. All the good luck that went the way of Alex and Marc Marquez and co, well, the bad luck has fallen on the shoulders of Fabio Quartararo. I'm sure he's in tears. He's beside himself, and with some justification, to have a Grand Prix victory snatched away by what we have to say for Yamaha is a very, very rare technical issue.
It's very rare in MotoGP, isn't it, to see motorcycles fail? We have seen, of course, ride height failures before in MotoGP. It has happened over the years, but never has it happened in such a heartbreaking fashion as that. A world-class performance from Fabio Quartararo. Nothing we could say will console him now, but the race victory that looked near certain has now slipped through his and Yamaha's fingers, and it's fallen into the hands of Marco Bezzecchi. And when you think about Aprilia's journey since the French Grand Prix and the days after that, Aprilia on the verge of their first win of the season. Aprilia do have a little bit of love affair with this Silverstone circuit, don't they? Morbidelli now having a go at Marc Marquez, who's having some late problems. But remember, Aprilia got their first MotoGP podium here back in 2021. They won this Grand Prix from 12th on the grid with Aleix Espargaro 2 years ago. And now in 2025, they're a lap away from an extraordinary victory.
Didn't see this coming. A late charge being mounted here by Morbidelli. Fair play to him. He was 3/10 quicker than Marc on that last lap. Mark has had what is fair to say a very eventful and topsy-turvy afternoon here at Silverstone. He may well rescue on a highly unlikely podium. Of course, let's not forget in the initial running of this race, he crashed out of the lead going through Maggots and Beckett's. Into turn 9, Bezzecchi goes halfway around at the final lap. The 26-year-old Italian has Morbidelli. That was super close. You just knew that Frankie was going to send one, and he did it at Cops.
Alex Marquez could still gain points in the World Championship. Marc Marquez fading on this final lap.
Well, this was the reason he was signed to the factory Aprilia team. This is why he wanted this big break as a superstar factory rider. I guess it might have, well, surely it would have had a different outcome had Fabio Quartararo not run into those technical issues. But Marco Bezzecchi is going to win for the factory Aprilia team. This is the battle raging for the final place on the podium. Two of the latest breakers in MotoGP right now, toughing it out going into turn 15. At the moment, it's in the hands of Mark for third place. Is Morbidelli going to go full send? But through the final corner, Morbidelli does attack Marc Marquez. Here in Britain, it's simply the Bez. Marco Bezzecchi wins an incredible, dramatic British Grand Prix in 2025. His first win for the factory Aprilia team. Johann Zarco on the podium once again for LCR, and look what it means to the Frenchman. And in a photo finish over the line, it is Marc that takes third place from Frankie Morbidelli. Not a bad way for Frankie to celebrate his 200th Grand Prix start. Alex Marquez was fifth. Top 6 completed by birthday boy Pedro Acosta. But Marco Bezzecchi is back on the top step of the podium.
Marco Bezzecchi won his first race of the 2025 season, capitalizing on the unfortunate tech issue for Fabio Quartararo. Johann Zarco stays hot with P2 after his home win, and Marc Marquez recovers from his crash before the red flag to take P3.